You guys want to hear something embarrassing? I have never played Vampire Killer on the MSX2. So here are my first impressions of the game as someone who loves this series. Is it as good as the original Castlevania on the Nintendo Entertainment System? Is it as obtuse as Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest? Is this the first Metroidvania in the entire series? So what was Vampire Killer? Well, it was a 1986 platform game developed and published by Konami for the MSX2. It is a parallel version of the original Castlevania, which debuted a month earlier for the Famicom Disk System under the same Japanese title. However, the MSX2 version was localized first in Europe and was published without the Castlevania branding that the franchise would start using abroad in 1987 when the NES version was released in North America. Like in Castlevania, the player controls vampire hunter Simon Belmont, who ventures into Dracula's castle armed with a mystical whip inherited from his father, named the Vampire Killer, in order to slay the evil Count Dracula. But now, what is the MSX2? Well, the MSX1 and 2 are probably most well known in the States for being the console Kojima's Metal Gear series started on. While we did get a port of Metal Gear 1 on the NES, we wouldn't see Metal Gear 2 until Konami packed it in with Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence on the PlayStation 2 in 2006, which is 16 years after it originally debuted in Japan. There were several different versions of the MSX1 and 2, made mostly because that was the entire point of the platform. The thesis was to standardize home computers the same way VHS was the standard for film and TV to be sold. It was a hit in Japan, but because Commodore had the US market all but cornered in the early 80s, the MSX and the companies that made it basically ignored America. The exceptions being Spectra Video and Yamaha, and they basically brought the MSX to market as a digital music tool rather than a personal computer. While Vampire Killer shares the same premise, soundtrack, characters, and locations as the original Castlevania, the structure of the game and its play mechanics differ significantly from its NES counterpart. Like Castlevania, Vampire Killer consists of 18 stages, with a boss encounter at the end of every third stage. But in contrast to the linear level designs in Castlevania, Vampire Killer features more labyrinth-like stages, requiring the player to seek out the exit to the next stage and find the skeleton key required to unlock it. Due to the hardware limitations of the MSX2, Vampire Killer uses the flip screens instead of scrolling. The game can be played with a keyboard or game controller. Items and weapons can be obtained by breaking through candle stands and certain walls, like in the NES version, and by purchasing them from merchants hidden throughout the castle, or by unlocking treasure chests using keys. Simon's default whip can be replaced with one of four weapons: a chain whip, throwing daggers, which is really the only one you need, a battle axe, and a battle cross. The latter two function both like a boomerang and must be retrieved on the return path if the player wishes to preserve them. There are four items that Simon can carry with him similar to sub-weapons in the NES version. A map, which shows his current position and the location of the exit, can only be used 3 times though. Holy water, an hourglass, which temporarily paralyzes all enemies, and one of two types of shields. Heart points are used as ammunition for the holy water and hourglass, and as currency for merchants. There are other items that provide passive effects, such as increasing or decreasing Simon's intelligence, which affects the prices of items sold by merchants, temporary invulnerability, increased speed, higher jumps, and health recovery. After defeating a boss, Simon will start the next stage without any of his previously accumulated equipment, aside from the number of hearts and the map. The player starts the game with 3 lives, and with no way to gain extra lives. There are no continues, unless the game is played with the Game Master cartridge in the second slot. Playing with the Game Master enables the option to select the stage and the number of lives to start with, as well as the ability to skip screens. Unfortunately for Konami's Vampire Killer, the MSX2 couldn't handle scrolling screens, not vertically, and more importantly to Castlevania's gameplay, it also couldn't handle horizontal scrolling. So how to change the very new series to better suit the platform? Well, first, Vampire Killer would use flip screens, leading every room to be independently a screen at a time. Secondly, Konami would use a lock and key system that required the player to explore the limited space on the screen for hidden objects. Those being chests, smaller keys for the chests, and finally a larger white key. The latter being the only way to open the door at the end of the stage to allow the player onto the next. Because of this literal lock and key mechanic, people like to say this is the first Metroidvania game in the series. And I guess you could call it that, but to me it seems more akin to early adventure games. I guess it's all semantics, as while in the first Zelda you're using keys to unlock doors, the original Metroid you're finding abilities to unlock doors. Is a missile a key? Is a double jump a key? Then again, in Zelda, you use a raft like a key to a puzzle. Is Zelda a Metroidvania? You also use keys to unlock doors in Super Mario Bros. 2. Is Super Mario Bros. 2 a Metroidvania? It's all search action gameplay, which is the genre's moniker in Japan. I have no idea, honestly. I am far less interested in what genre a game is classified as, and I'm more interested in, is it fun? Is Vampire Killer fun? No. Not really. It started out fun. Familiar coat of paint with a different style of gameplay. Now I hear a lot of the things I'm about to complain about is because of the MSX emulation, so it's possible I'm out of line here. Whatever though. This is from my experience with the game for the first time. I think many things would probably feel differently if I was playing this as a kid and I had like 4 cards to choose from, rather than the plethora of options we have at our fingertips because of the internet. Childish Gambino album name drop. It'd probably also be different if I had not played the original Castlevania on the NES as much as I have. But look at this gameplay of me trying to hit a goddamn candlestick. It's maddening. And that's on the game's hit detection, not the incredibly possible input lag. Honestly, that's the entire crux of my problems with Vampire Killer. Everything is off. Movement is off, attacks are off, the knockback is off, and it's crazy how you can fall down 3 screens in this one. The continue system is so off, it doesn't exist. Which which is why I didn't finish this game. I planned on doing it. I've beaten all the other ones, but they have unlimited continues. These are so limited, you don't even get one. Which is bad, because I'm bad at video games, and I'm only getting worse with age. The sub-weapons are also off, or they might as well not be here, because 2 of them disappear if you don't catch them. Both the cross and the axe go forward and come back to you, but if you get hit before you catch it, you're back to just the standard leather whip. Also, the holy water is so weird to use. I'm not sure why jumping and pressing a direction was thought to be an improvement over holding up and using the attack button. All that said, they did get the music right, and here's some of that so I can take a second to chill out. So how did I really feel about Vampire Killer on the MSX2 after playing it for the first time? Well, I wanted to like it. I've heard those on the internet like it more than Simon's Quest, which frankly, even if this game had the normal, unlimited continues, I doubt I'd agree with. I wish it did though, because the end Dracula fight is different than the original Castlevania. So that would have been interesting to see. I am happy I played it for myself. I got to form my own opinion on it. I encourage you to do the same if you haven't. Because even if it's not the best Castlevania game, it still is one. If you have played this one for yourself, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. It would have been cool to see this one in the Castlevania Anniversary Collection, but if emulation of the MX1 and 2 is why it felt so janky to me, I can see why Konami didn't go the extra mile. Well, if you made it this far, you're a real one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, or whatever. Alright, that's it for me. I will see you in the next one. Same bunny time. Same bunny channel. Alright, see ya.